So now we will check the performance between the NumPy array and the Python list, that is the inbuilt list that we have. So guys, basically so far we have seen the basic concepts regarding the NumPy arrays and the NumPy libraries as well, but we should be knowing why exactly we are using the NumPy array instead of the simple Python list in order to carry out the mathematical operations. So whenever you are going to deal with the machine learning algorithms or the data science problems, you are going to deal with a large amount of integers or the floating numbers in the form of one-dimensional or the two-dimensional array, which are also called matrices in this case. So basically the NumPy array is faster, so we are going to prove it in this particular video. So guys, basically we will be checking the performance of the Python list and the NumPy array in this case, so that it will help us to understand why NumPy array is faster and has better performance than the Python list over here. So let us move to VS Code in this case, and simply we are going to create a new file. In this case we will say performance check.python file over here. Now guys, simply first of all we will provide the import statement for the NumPy library as np, and we will import another module. This time we will say import time as well, that will help us in order to measure the performance of the list and the NumPy array over here. So guys, first of all we are going to check the performance of the Python list. So simply we are going to provide the start time over here. Start, it is equal to, we will make use of the time module followed by dot, and then we have something called as perf counter over here, which helps us in order to get the performance counter for benchmarking purpose. So guys, basically we will make use of this method in order to measure the performance of both, that is the Python list and the NumPy array. So we have the start time. Now simply we are going to create a simple list over here. So we have the open and close parenthesis, and let us take a huge list of, let's say, 1 million elements. So simply we will say for I in range. So this is the method that we are going to use. What is the range? We are going to provide 1 million as the number. So guys, basically the I value will go from 0 up to 1 million this time. Now guys, for these 1 million elements, we don't want to store the I value directly, but we want to multiply the I value by 2 over here, so that all the elements from 0 up to 1 million are multiplied by 2, and the result is stored inside the list variable over here. We can confirm that by printing the 9th item of the list. So guys, basically the 9th item in this particular range function should be the number 10 over here, and that number, that is 10, should be multiplied by 2, which must be equal to 20 this time. So list of 9 should have the number that is 20 over here, and then after this what we will do is we will print the time difference by getting the finish time over here. So simply we are going to provide the print statement, and then we will provide the formatted string. We will say list operation time. In this case it is equal to, followed by open and close curly braces over here. Again we will make use of the time module followed by dot, and then we have the performance counter over here minus the start time that we had measured at the start of this particular program. And then guys, after this the difference will be in seconds over here. So simply let me just provide the seconds as the string this time. So let me just save this file now. Let us see what will be the output when we run this code. So when we run this file, as you can see on the terminal, we are getting the list of item 9, that is 18 over here. So instead of having the number 20, we are getting 18 over here. So guys, that doesn't matter, but what matters is the time that we have captured over here. So the list operation time, it is equal to 0.118 seconds over here. So instead of having it in seconds, let us have it in milliseconds by multiplying it by 1000. So whatever number that we are getting over here, simply we are going to multiply it by 1000, so that we get the time in milliseconds over here. And also after this particular expression, we want the numbers after the decimal point to be restricted to two numbers over here. So after 1000 we are going to provide colon over here followed by dot, and this time we are going to provide 2f over here. So guys, the meaning of this is after the decimal point we only want the two numbers, that is the floating numbers in this case. So guys, the meaning of this is after the decimal point we only want two numbers as part of precision. position. So let me just save this file now and try running this code on the terminal. So as you can see, now we are getting 146 milliseconds over here. So guys, every time you are going to run it, you are going to get a different time in this case. So basically the main idea over here is we are creating the elements that is from 0 up to 1 million and then multiplying it by 2 and then storing all the elements from 0 up to 1 million multiplied by 2 inside the normal Python list over here, and then we are counting what is the time period in order to do that. Okay, similarly let us create the NumPy array and have the same elements inside the NumPy array as well. So simply we are going to provide the same line of code, that is the start time. It is equal to time dot performance counter. This time we are going to create the array. So let's say array1, it is equal to np dot array this time, and then we are going to provide the range as well. So instead of using the array, we can simply make use of the a range over here, and then what will be the a range parameter? It will be 1 million this time, and then followed by multiplied by 2 over here. Let us confirm what is the 9th element for this array so that we come to know that the same result is being stored inside the Python list as well as the NumPy array over here. So simply we will say array1 and the 9th index in this case. So basically that number will be printed over here, and then after this let me just copy this line of code and paste this over here. Simply we will say NumPy array operation time. So time performance counter minus start multiplied by 1000. This will give us the results in the milliseconds over here. So let me just save this file now and try running this code on the terminal. So as you can see, we are getting 1818 as the items at the 9th position for the Python list and the NumPy array as well, which means we are storing the same content within the list and the NumPy array. And you can see the difference between the operation time for the Python list and the NumPy array over here. For the Python list we have got 116 milliseconds as the time difference, and then for the NumPy array we have got 13.41 milliseconds over here, which is a very huge difference. Let us run this code once again over here. So as you can see, again we are getting a huge difference. Almost the Python list is taking 5 times more time compared to the NumPy array over here. Let us run this code once again. So again we are getting the less time for the NumPy array over here. So guys, this is a very basic operation that we have carried out in order to store the elements inside the list and the NumPy array. In reality we are going to carry out multiple mathematical operations by using the NumPy array, and that is where we can see that the NumPy library is having a very good performance compared to Python list, and that is why we use the NumPy library for machine learning, data science, artificial intelligence and many other applications as far as the one-dimensional array and multi-dimensional arrays mathematical operations are concerned. So comment in the comment section below whether you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to the channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned.